Hi, welcome to Dinner and a Show. I'm Brian, and I just got back from Logan. Tried dressing up like him as he did in the beginning of the movie, but yeah, didn't get the gray hair down. Or the claws. Darn. Alright, so this is Hugh Jackman's very last performance as Logan, aka Wolverine, just for the X-Men franchise. It's kind of a bittersweet end to his iconic role. I mean, it was great. It's like very early 2000s was when he started, and he's finally hanging up the claws. It's kind of crazy. So yeah, overall, I liked it. It was a really good movie. It was definitely a very different movie from the superhero genre. It was more of a slow pace. It felt like a road trip movie. People have compared it to The Last of Us, which is a very famous video game series that, honestly, a lot of people have wanted to be a movie, and with the huge comparison, I'm just like, why don't we just stick with this movie being The Last of Us, since video game movies have not had much of a good reputation. They've kind of had a bad rap. So anyway, to get to the point. So it's, I think, the year 2029. It's pretty much just Logan and Charles Xavier. Charles, of course, being played by Patrick Stewart. They are pretty much alone. I think they're trying to hide Charles because he's very dangerous with his mind. Since he's old, he's unstable. His mind is basically a weapon of mass destruction. And I forget the actress's name, but they somehow get caught up in some weird government entanglement, secret project, girl, basically. A girl that was the result of one of their experiments. The girl is titled X-23, and she basically has Logan's powers of adamantium skeletons and claws on her hands, although she has a claw on her toe, which is really cool. But yeah, she is trying to get to a place called Eden and to meet up with other experiment mutants like her. And so Logan reluctantly, but Charles enthusiastically, go on a journey to take her there while trying to outrun the law. Or not the law, just, that's the secret government military, that pretty much all of the mutants have to avoid. Yeah, so let me just get to the point. Yeah, the characters were great. I think Logan finally had some, good development in this movie. I don't know. It's like, for me, it's like I've watched all the Wolverine movies, and Origins, forgettable. And all the X-Men movies, I've watched them all, and I don't know. Logan always seems to start out as a grumpy old guy that doesn't really give a crap about anybody except himself. He's just a worn-out guy. He's seen the world. But by the end, he has some sort of a heart. Here, they do it a lot better, though. Because, Logan is old. It takes a harder time for him to heal, which I think was great. Because it's like they always, in all of the X-Men movies, well, not the X-Men, all the Wolverine solo movies, they seem to, take away his healing power just to weaken him. And that kind of gets old. Here they switch it up to where he's getting older. His powers are getting slower. He's not healing as fast or as well or as effective. So, So I liked that twist instead. And he doesn't really care anymore. He's seen the world. He's seen all his friends die. I mean, he sees Charles, in his old, frail state. I mean, who wants to see your friends just pass away like that and you continue to live? So, I mean, we see that a lot. I mean, so I think they were more effective in developing Logan's character in this one. And, yes, he is very heartless, especially towards the beginning. I mean, you see him, he has a little bit of a heart, like he cares. I mean, he does care for Charles, and but he's very cold-hearted towards people that are trying to reach out to him, and very slow to taking care of Laura. That's the name of X-23. She just, I don't know, he doesn't really, he wants to get out of that mess. He doesn't really care. He wants to just be left alone because everyone that he loves or cares about gets killed, which makes perfect sense. I liked Laura's character. Yeah, she was really good. Her performance, like the actress that performed her, did a fantastic job. I really enjoyed just how she interacted with Logan, how she tried to, she wasn't going to take any of his crap. He was going to, he basically tried to leave her several times, and she would not put up with that. It was pretty funny. And she is very wise for her age. She, knew some secrets that Logan wasn't ready to face yet. So that was really interesting. But yeah, I think she had a little bit of an arc too, because she was learning the world, because she never really saw the world. She was pretty much a lab experiment. So that was great. And Charles still plays a mentor role to Logan, except, he's a little older and crankier and crazier, just because of his mental stability is just, failing. He's in his 90s in this movie, so it just makes sense for that. Villains were actually, they were pretty good. A lot of people die. So yeah, a lot of red shirts, but I think the main couple of villains, they were threatening enough. They were smart. They weren't gonna, they didn't just believe anything that Logan said to try and get him off their trail. So yeah, it was pretty cool. And they served the plot. They were a genuine threat to the to the party. And I want to say, I love the colors. It was very gritty and dark, and messy. They're like, I'd say the setting was more of like a desert kind of gritty, because they are out on it's a road trip, so you get to see a lot of desert. They're in El Paso, I believe, towards the beginning of the film. So yeah, a lot of dust. It's just gritty. It's really good atmosphere. And I did enjoy the story because it provided great opportunities that were taken advantage of for Logan and Laura and even Charles to just all grow together. There was a lot of interaction. I loved the dialogue. It was pretty good. I think that they took a little too much artistic license in the, just I think they just wanted to do F-bombs for the sake of F-bombs and other profane words, but I don't think they did it too much, so it didn't bother me as I thought it would, but I think they might have gone a little overboard with that. Violence definitely deserves the R rating. And what's crazy is that some of the violence isn't necessarily the most violent scenes are not necessarily from Logan. It's from some other mutants' powers, and it's insane. But they did show how violent Logan can be, and he is a genuine threat to people. So that, I think, was put to good use. I want to see what else is there. Yeah, like I said earlier, the pacing was a little bit slow. I mean, it is a road trip movie. At least that's how I saw it. I loved the action. It was very well choreographed. Laura kicked some butt. I was so surprised. She was amazing. And so, I mean, so was Logan. But of course, you know, he's older. So, I mean, his movements are kind of slower. So, Laura kind of, at least to me, stole the spotlight from him when it came to action. But I don't know what else there is to say. Like, cinematography was great. Music was had some weird spots, but I mean, it was minimally used. They didn't go overboard with the music. I really enjoyed this movie. I mean, it may sound like I'm dogging it a little bit, you know, and not as enthusiastic as some other people, because I was hearing a lot of reviews saying that, you know, this movie was just amazing, like the best superhero movie ever made, or one of the best at least, like next to The Dark Knight and everything like that. And I really did enjoy it, and I wanted to enjoy it more than I did, but I think with all that said, I'm gonna give it a very high 5. I mean, it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. I loved how they developed Logan, and I think that this movie served the purpose well. And I think Hugh Jackman left on a high note, and that this will be probably the best superhero film of the year. And that's even before Wonder Woman comes out, and that's even before Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 comes out, Spider-Man Homecoming, Black Panther. I mean, or Thor Ragnarok, sorry, that's the one that's coming out this fall. So, I mean, yeah, this serves it well, I'd say. I mean, Logan does great. I think Fox somehow learned from Fantastic Four, or Fanforstic, as I say, because that's like the one superhero franchise that they suck at doing, but they can do well with X-Men, every even numbered movie, because like they did okay with X-Men First Class. That was actually probably a decent start, and then they really did good with Days of Future Past. I personally enjoyed that more than Logan. And then Apocalypse was just, they had a couple of good scenes, but everything else was dumb. And here, Logan, it's more of a standalone movie. You don't really need the other movies to enjoy it, but they do help. I would actually recommend that you do watch the others, because they help bring some stronger foundation to the film. But yeah, this movie does good as a standalone, and I think that you know, if superhero films were considered to be nominated for an Oscar in something other than visual effects or sound editing, like it could even be maybe it could be Best Adapted Screenplay. I don't know. Maybe it could be, I mean, I would be very surprised if it was nominated for Best Picture, because it's very early in the year. But, I mean, hey, I can imagine it having that chance. It's very different. It's a very different type of superhero movie. And so, yeah, go watch it. I mean, let you know, it is R, so, just use your own discretion. But it was a great movie. I really, really enjoyed it. I might go watch it again to see, just to get a better grasp of it, because I absorbed it, and I give it the really high 5 rating, just because I know it was just incredibly well made. But I want to watch it again to see if it would get a better rating for multiple viewings. So anyway, that's all I got. I rambled enough. Go watch this movie. It's great. My name's Brian, and I will see you at the movies.